Welcome back to the pregame show. It is time for the Broadcasters Roundtable. Dave Peck alongside Newport Gulls field reporter Arm Layton and the voice of the Danbury Westerners, Jack O'Mara. Arm, we'll start with you. 5 out of 6 games Newport has fell. What's been the problem?
The offense, but it's kind of been everything. They haven't been able to put runs up, but when you're giving up 10-plus runs like we saw in Mystic last night, it's hard to have a chance anyway if you're not scoring runs. So everything, I think they got to just flip the calendar, relax, and just take it one day at a time.
Yeah, you mentioned flipping the calendar. This is the second game at home they've played in July. We've talked to Coombs a lot this season about how June is maybe you're starting to feel it out. Is it possible to just flip the switch once the calendar changes?
I think when you're playing as many games as you're playing as you do in the NECBL, you kind of just got to take it one game at a time. And I think it only takes one win here and there, one-run game, squeeze one out, and you kind of forget everything that was happening before. And like we said, flip the page and kind of trying to get moving in another direction.
Newport has had success against Danbury 2-0, the 23-5 win, and then the 6-5 walk-off, both at Cardines Field. You think they can replicate that today? Is this a good test for them just to kind of gain their momentum again?
Well, that's the crazy thing. It feels like a lifetime ago when the Gulls came back and walked off here at Cardines, but it really wasn't that long ago. The Gulls need to get back to that baseball, and I think they can. And hopefully a big crowd expected tonight. A lot of energy in the park. Maybe that'll be what they need to get a little fire lit under them.
All right, Jack, we'll toss it over to you now. I just asked Arm about the last 2 games. Was there any talk within the team about coming back to Cardines Field and trying to steal one, trying to put everything behind them?
Yeah, this is a big game for them. They know what happened the last couple times they've been here, a couple of really tough losses, and this date has been circled on their schedule for quite some time. They're ready to play this ball game.
And it's not only at Cardines Field that Danbury has struggled. On the road, consistently pretty the entire year, 3-10. Is that something because they like Rogers Park, or is it just the bus ride going to a different place? What do you attribute that to?
Well, I think that it's easy to play at home, especially with the ballpark. I think it's very unique to Danbury's play style, but I also think that, yeah, there is some lack of focus involved, obviously, with the long travels. Danbury is the furthest team away from the majority of the teams. Our closest team is about 2.5 hours from us, so it's not a lot of close games for us. So it is difficult to stay in that mindset, getting ready to play every single day when you have a lot of trips to make like that.
And Danbury is currently last in the Southern Division, 3.5 games back of the first place Plymouth Pilgrims, but only a game back from Newport. So this could be a big one for them if they can get a win here. What's it going to take?
I think it's going to have to take an all-around effort from this team. They've lacked some consistency with both pitching and hitting over the past couple of games. When one side is on, the other isn't, and vice versa. And I think that Eli Oliphant's going to have a good start, and I think the offense is going to have to come out and put some bats up and consistently put up runs and give themselves a good chance to win. It's got to be a balanced approach.
All right, should be a good game here on July 4th between the Westerners and the Gulls. For Jack O'Mara, Arm Layton, I'm Dave Peck. The Newport Gulls pregame show continues next right here on the NECBL Broadcast Network.